Go for it, bro. Go for it.
All right. Welcome back to my beautiful people out there. Welcome to the Run the Base podcast. I'm your co-host, Luis. This is my other co-host,
Carlos.
And I hope all of y'all are having a good day out there. How was your day, bro?
It's pretty good, bro. Finally, started my internship, stuff like that. So big moves.
Hey, that's pretty
going
good,
up,
bro.
going up in the world. But yeah, I mean, I've been busy. I'm gonna be busy for this month, and we're still gonna try to get this done. Try to get the podcast. I'm still gonna be making time for it and everything like that. I know it's been a little rusty, bro. Like my editing skills and stuff like that. Like low key, right, like it's taking me a lot longer, especially because now we're adding a bit more to the edits. But yeah, bro, like I'm there trying to like get the pieces and stuff, but also get in like in a certain time period. Yeah. So yeah, it's taking me a little bit more time. Definitely.
I've noticed that too. I mean, I have a lot of rust in this too. I mean, we mentioned it in the previous episode. With all the new equipment and stuff. Yeah, I mean, we are definitely trying to be a little bit more consistent. Shout out to all of y'all, all the new subscribers, all the new followers, everybody that's been showing us all the love and support. We really do appreciate it. Even we're making small moves. All the milestones count to us. We really appreciate all of it. We're trying to make it more. We're trying to go bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like we're hyped, bro. Like. Especially, I mean, YouTube's been popping off. We're doing a lot better than what we did at the beginning, and it's our first time back. So, appreciate all the love, appreciate all the comments, all the interactions, all the likes, everything like that, all the new subscribers. So, yeah, man, thank you all for real. I mean, hopefully we only keep going up.
And it's been a good day, man. Today I went for a run, just trying to stay hydrated, trying to get fit. Make sure everybody that's watching this, or hearing this, hopefully we get it on Spotify real soon. I want to get into that. I want to get that eventually. But everybody that's watching this, make sure y'all drink your water, y'all eat good, exercise. Try to stay fit. Let's try to get good. Just trying to look good for summer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, especially on the water, bro. We live in a very hot environment, so I mean, it's hitting 100.
Yeah, hydration is very, very important.
So I mean, but let's get into it, bro. What's popping this week?
NBA Finals Thursday, Game 1 in Boston. Boston Mavericks the Dallas Mavericks versus the Boston Celtics. How do you think that's gonna go, bro?
I think, bro, it's gonna be fun, man. I mean, I actually was looking at some of our old podcasts, and one of the questions was, do you think the Boston Celtics will be back to the finals in the next 5 years?
I think that was like
2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, bro. Like, so.
What did we say back then?
I said I'm not sure if in the next 5 years, but you definitely said, you were like, yeah, man, for sure. I think they're gonna be in the next 5 years, but I said maybe a little bit more. But hey, man, look at this. Like,
hey, and they're back. They're back almost two.
I think it's two years.
Actually, no, wait, 3 years.
That was in 2022.
Okay,
right? Yeah. Because they went against
the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
they went against the Golden State Warriors. And here we are 3 years later against the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, a little bit different structured team. I mean, Robert Williams isn't there. Marcus Smart isn't there. You have a lot of new faces. Drew. I don't think Derek White was on that run. I'm not sure if he was traded at that time.
Derek White was not on. I think he was still on the Spurs there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, man. I mean, a lot of new faces, a lot of new people, and that's for the Boston Celtics side, man. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, man.
Yeah, you mean the Dallas Mavericks, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah. But I just wanted to get the Boston Celtics out of the way. We already went over that, and then the Dallas. Like, I'm happy for Dallas, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm happy for Kyrie, happy for Luka, man. I hoped he would get this far, man. I mean, he's been trying so hard. He's been carrying that team for so long, and he finally got his wingman, man, and Kyrie Irving, and they finally built a good team around him. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derrick Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely got a good team around him. Good role players, good people that are just going to hold it down for him. And I'm happy for Dallas, man, especially being a Texas person. Definitely hoping the Dallas win. just on my own personal opinion, I just don't like Boston.
Yeah, same. I'm honestly rooting for the Mavericks. We're both obviously from Texas, born and raised. None of us here are Mavericks fans, but we will rep for the home team. And I really like Luka. I love
bro.
Kyrie. You see, growing up, our like age demographic, like all of us were Kyrie fans. All of us were Kyrie. Everybody were Kyrie's. We all watched his mixtapes coming out of Duke. And in the Cavs, and we saw him with LeBron for those years that they were in Cleveland, back to back NBA Finals. So.
I became a Kyrie fan on Disney XD.
He came out and kicking it, right?
He came out and kicking it, man.
Yeah,
that was my first introduction to Kyrie Irving, and man, I was like, this is a GOAT. Like, this guy's him, bro. And I didn't know how good he was, and then I believe he went first overall, and Cleveland, everything like that. He just popped off after that. But I think
Kyrie deserves another one. I definitely do think Kyrie deserves another one. Now, whether he wins it, that's yet to be seen, because that Boston team is just so good. Obviously you have Jason Tatum, who's leading the team, but you also have Jaylen Brown, which is not far behind. I think like it's 1A and 1B with those two.
Man. I mean, honestly, I hate going against. I don't like the Boston Celtics, but Derek White's on that team, man. Tendered Spur for so long. I saw him grow. I saw him get drafted, I believe 28th, 29th overall. And he was so good for the Spurs, man. He was such a good player. I knew when the Boston Celtics traded for him, that was such a good trade, man. I knew he was going to be the glue to that team, and he's been it. Like, he's the defensive anchor. Like, he will hold it down for y'all. He will put up the points when he needs to, man.
Yeah,
Derek White's like
huge. He's huge.
He's coming up so big, man. He's an unspoken hero, man. Derek White really, really like hooked it up for y'all, like, to get to the finals. It's all love for Derek White. The only thing is that, man, he's on the Boston Celtics, man. Like, that's the only thing. Definitely would not be mad with Derek White getting his first championship, man. Like, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got to the finals. Sadly, I'm going for Dallas this one. So,
do you think Dallas is gonna win, or is it just like you want them to win?
So, my prediction is. Honestly, most of the time, like for the past couple of years, I feel like it's been a lot easier to predict some finals because it's so lopsided, man. This is such a, who wants it more? Who's gonna like go to the dogfight and actually like come out fighting, But definitely, I got it in 6. I got
Mavs in 6. Just lock it in, bro. Just lock it in.
Oh, man. Screw it, man. I'm going Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6, man. I think my prediction is I think Jason Tatum pulls up for game 1. Jaylen Brown pull up for game 1. I think they do take it in Boston. I think the Mavericks pull it for game 2. Steal one on the road, which is all you got to do as the away team. And I think a major part of the steal on the road is the fact that Jason Tatum, I predict him to vanish game 2.
That's been a big criticism towards Jason Tatum. He tends to disappear in big moments.
Yeah, just in the finals that they went to a couple years ago. He didn't like completely disappear, but still he wasn't the Jason Tatum and the superstar that they needed to win that finals. It was Jaylen Brown who stepped up, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jaylen Brown's going to have a good series. I feel like he's been pulling up a lot more in this playoffs than Jason Tatum. Both of them are hand in hand, but I feel like Jaylen Brown is a little bit more pristine right now. I feel like
he's a little bit more like spotlight ready. He is good for the moment. He doesn't shy away from it. He loves the moment. You saw it. Who was it against that he hit the game winner? It was the
Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, he hit that game winner against the game winner or to send it to OT.
Oh yeah, man, because the Pacers were about to win that. I remember.
Yeah, and that was game 1, I believe. So without that huge shot, that series could have gone a little bit different. I don't think the Indiana Pacers realistically could have won the series, but with that shot, it completely took away all the momentum that the Indiana Pacers could have had if they won that game.
Yeah, especially because that's before Tyrese Halliburton was injured. That's before, they still went on the road, and then they were winning without Tyrese for a while there. So easily could have brought the momentum back. and could have at least made it a game 5, game 6, and that goes a lot into going into the finals because I mean like you don't have as much rest and stuff, but both of them are pretty short series, man. Game 5 games and 4 games, so everything like that, like it was. What happened, bro? Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're good. Sorry, technical difficulties, but we're back. But yeah, bro, you make a great point about Jaylen Brown being typically the one to step up. I mean, not to say that Jason Tatum hasn't stepped up before in the past, but you know, typically you see Jaylen Brown step up in these moments. That is why I do believe the Boston Celtics are gonna win. I'm gonna give them 6 because Luka and Kyrie, that pairing is just way too good. Luka, I believe we're going to see the best version of Luka that we've ever seen. I think he's going to drop like 40, like game.
You think they're going to go one of those, like, I think it was game 1, game 2 for, I know it was against the Golden State Warriors where LeBron and Kyrie just went both back to back
like
for
40 and 40
bro,
when
like
they both dropped like 40 points.
For that series,
I think that is going to happen. I mean, the Mavs, they're not a bad team. Like, obviously, they're in the NBA Finals, but Luka, they're going to win in the back of Luka and Kyrie. They both need to step up, and they are going to steal some games. But I think ultimately, the Boston Celtics are just too talented. They've been here before. I don't think that the moment's going to be too big for them. But based on what you were saying, I think Jaylen Brown is going to win the Finals MVP if the Celtics do win.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that happening. Because, I mean, well, for one, Jaylen Brown has, a $300 million contract. Like, man, he's earning it. Like, he's putting them on his back low-key. I mean, obviously, he's getting help from Jason Tatum and Derek White, but I feel like Jaylen Brown has been the one to, like, shine a little bit more than everybody else at the moment. But, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him winning Finals MVP. But right now, I think Game 2, my prediction is Jason Tatum shies away a little bit from the light. Game 3, I feel like they might steal that one off of the hands of Derek White. I feel like Derek White does have a really big game in one of these in this series to hopefully bring it home for Boston. And then I do think role players matter, man.
Oh, yeah.
Role players matter so much. And low-key, I feel like the Dallas Mavericks have a little bit better role players than the Boston Celtics. With Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Derrick Jones, like all of those guys, man. And we haven't even talked about one of the most important factors is Kristaps Porzingis, man.
Yeah, I was just about to get into it.
I'm not sure if he's still injured or not, but I mean he's gonna eventually play in this series, and he's a big man. Without the big help in the bottom for the Boston Celtics, they could easily lose this series because I mean they got Dallas also got Derek Lively, like they hogs for over there. I think they got Maxi Kleber back. They got a lot of bigs over there, so I mean, if you win the rebounding game, you could easily win the game in the series. So Kristaps Porzingis is a really, really big factor for the Boston Celtics to play in the series.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for a good series. I just want, an exciting, good series. I don't want blowout wins by 20, 30 points like we've been seeing a lot in these playoffs. I'm just hoping for a good series. At the end of the day, if the Boston Celtics win, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Even if like most of America is going towards the Dallas Mavericks. Luka, and I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I think like we're in the age of like the European players because you see all the top players in the NBA. They're all European.
For sure.
They're all like native to America.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have gone worldwide with this like the NBA's just gone like global, man. I mean, it was always global, but I feel like you can see it a lot more now with the talent that's coming from France, that's coming from Serbia, that's coming from Slovenia, like you got, or Slovakia.
And that makes the comments that track star made, like, the world champions of what, like, I think it makes it a little bit more valid as time goes by. Now, I think that the rest of the world has caught up with American talent. No, because you see, it's like real sparse, like it's like the top of the top, like coming out of those countries, and majority of the NBA is still American, but eventually we're gonna get to the point where, like, I think majority of the NBA players are gonna be like European,
Yeah, I mean, just you look at it in this draft, man. 2 of the top prospects are coming from France, and Alex Sarr and Zachary Rideche, man. Like these are the France boys are tall, they're versatile.
Yeah.
Like I mean, just look at it in Victor Wembanyama, man. Like he's what seven some.
Yeah.
Playing like he's a guard, man. Like dribbling through the legs, behind the back. Like he's their projects over there, man. Like I don't even know how they're doing all that. Like
so from what I've seen is what a big thing in the U.S. is UAA, right?
Oh,
and
sure.
In there, right, they'll get the big guys, they'll stick them down low, and they won't let them like develop their games, like their handles and their shooting and stuff like that. So that's why you see a lot of these big men like struggle with all that. But over there in Europe, they let you develop like those skills at a very young age, no matter how tall you are, no matter like the frame that you have. That's why you see Victor Wembanyama, you see him doing all these things, you're like, how is he doing all that? But that's because they allowed him to develop that game, and they didn't let him shy away from it. It's like growing pains, but look at him now, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing that a comment that Luka made a couple years back was a big controversy, saying that it's a lot easier to score in the NBA than it was overseas. And I mean, bro proved it. Like he's Luka, like the way he plays, the way he distributes, the way he scores, like he's making that thing look like child's play. And
it's not just Luka that says that. It's even former NBA players that go play overseas and they come back and they're like, yeah, I mean, they just officiate over there differently. You know?
I think the officiating's different. I think that they play a little bit tougher. I think that there's little intricacies that they do. I know that Jason, I'm not sure if it was Jason Kidd, but I know that when he dribbled, he got past someone, he purposely put the hand behind their knee so they couldn't recover, and he would easily blow past them. But there's a lot of little techniques that they would do just like to get by their defenders, a better score, to better defend, everything like that, man. They have better technique over there.
You can't hand check anymore. You can't put like your hands on their hips. Like
the only thing is that I do feel like the U.S. still has crazy prospects, man. Like I know France is pushing out like Victor Wembanyama's and stuff like that, and I feel like their techniques are just like pristine. Like those are like furbished techniques. And then from the U.S., man, I just feel like the prospects
like Cooper
Flag coming up. It's a upcoming draft, but there's a lot of people that like are just monsters, man. Like the athleticism is crazy.
Oh yeah,
in the USA,
like our athletes are built different, Like the ones that you see coming out of Europe are like the Jokic's, and they're not uber athletic, but their technique is just. But then you see dudes coming out like Anthony Edwards and John Morant and all these dudes, and you're like, bro, these guys are like world class athletes,
man. Like they're best athletes in the world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I feel like the U.S. still got the athletics over all the other world right now. But
the future of the NBA is European. You know?
Definitely, man. I feel like Europe and a bunch of other places in the world will take over the NBA soon enough. I mean, we're getting prospects left and right from everywhere else. But yeah, going back to just the little NBA. Did you hear the rumor about the Wizards?
No, enlighten me.
So people have come to notice that for the past couple of years, Wizards, I mean, no offense to Wizards fans, if any Wizards fans are watching, but very bad franchise, just badly run. And I hope y'all the best. I mean, y'all, I wanted a Belan Kolabe. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but the teammate of Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs, and then he just rose up draft boards, and I'm glad he went to the Wizards. I know y'all drafted Johnny Davis. No comment on that one. That was on y'all. But bro, so there's always a player that gets traded either mid-season or plays for the Wizards at some point in the career that wins the NBA Finals. Just look at it last year. Kristaps Porzingis and Daniel Gafford were the backcourt for the Wizards, and now they're the backcourt for the final championship, bro. Like, come on, like I mean, you have so much talent on the Wizards individually, but for some reason, I don't know why they just can't get it.
It could be like
team-wise, man.
Coaching,
everything like that. It's just.
Or it could just be culture, like a culture matters a lot in these, professional sports teams. Because if you don't have no culture, everybody wants to do their own thing, and y'all can't gel, like it's a lot different in the NBA than it is like in college, right? Because in college they have incentive to play hard so they can potentially get to the NBA. But when you're already in the NBA, getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, and the culture isn't right, it's real easy to just just cruise on through the season, get to the off season and enjoy your life,
I mean, there's a lot of players on the Wizards that I feel like are just coasting, man. And I hate to say it, man, but Jordan Poole, man, I had so much hype for him, man. Coming out of Michigan, I know he wasn't the best, but then he developed with Stephen Curry by his side, and the Golden State Warriors really put him on. And I mean, he was one of the best players in that finals run. Yeah, but man, I feel like his talent's there, man, but I feel like his lack of
no motivation,
man. I feel like it's been taking a big toll. I mean, nobody wants to get sent to the Wizards, to be honest. Like, no offense, man, but nobody wants to get sent to the Wizards. Nobody wants to get sent to Detroit right now. And honestly, Detroit has a promising future. I have no idea why Detroit fell off like that.
I like the little core that they've built. I think give them 5 years, 5-6 years, not even 5 years.
I just feel for Detroit, man.
Yeah.
Like every year they have one of the worst records and they fall to the worst possible one. I mean, they got the 5th pick this year. And a Victor Wembanyama draft. They got the 5th pick, I believe. Yeah. Like it sucks for them, man. I feel for y'all for real. Like I hope talent comes y'all's way. I mean, y'all got Cade, y'all got Jaden Ivey, y'all got Jalen Duren. Y'all have a bunch of promising players over there, and I feel like if y'all put the pieces together correctly, I feel like y'all will be able to contend. And I honestly thought y'all was gonna contend this upcoming season. I thought maybe like a contend for maybe playing spot. I'm not sure if y'all would make the playoffs exactly, but I did not think that y'all would break the record for the most losses in a row either. Like that was never in the.
Do you remember that meme of Wingstop that were like, "Oh, if the Detroit Pistons win, we'll give you guys free wings," and then for like 2 months they didn't win a single game.
Yeah, bro. Like, Wingstop was making bank, bro. Like they never had to give away free wings, and then
they saved a lot of money.
They did save a lot of money, and then that win just like probably came out of the blue. I think it was against the Toronto Raptors. It became a contest of, like, I felt like when the Washington Wizards were going on that streak, so many teams were like, we're not going to be the ones to lose. Yeah. We're not going to be the ones to end this streak.
I think it was Kyle Kuzma that was like, oh, imagine being that team. And then they go on their own streak, and then they get clowned.
Also, Kyle Kuzma, a little thing that, early in the season, he was actually asked if he wanted to take a trade to the Dallas Mavericks. They were going to take him over, I believe, Daniel Gafford. Kyle Kuzma proceeded to say that he doesn't believe that the Dallas Mavericks are contenders.
Dang.
Come on, man.
Well, I mean, that's Kyle Kuzma, bro.
I get it. It's Kyle Kuzma. He has a ring already. Like, he don't, like, he ain't got to put much. But, man, if he was in that trade, I honestly don't think the Dallas Mavericks would have made it.
I mean, they came in as a 5th seed.
But I feel like Daniel Gafford has been a huge contributor, man. That dude's an animal. I remember he got drafted. I kind of wanted him on the Spurs. Yeah. But, and he's I'm not sure. I think he might have moved around, or I'm not sure if he got drafted by the Wizards. But, man, he's been a big contributor for the finals right now. But
I think the Mavs just clicked at the right time. They put it all together. I wouldn't say that they were like the favorites to come out of the West. Obviously, they weren't. I think the majority favorite was the Denver Nuggets, or the Timberwolves,
or even OKC. Man, there were so many people above.
Well, I think OKC still has. They're still very, very, very young with a very bright future. I mean, I think what they've done over there in OKC is just fantastic. They're gonna compete for many, many, many years to come. But they're still very young. They don't have experience. Even Shea doesn't have the most experience, and he's like their leader.
What is he? 27, 28?
I think he's younger than that. No.
Nah, man. Shea's actually pretty old. He's been in the league since 2017, 2016.
He was part of that Paul George trade.
Yeah, he was part of the Clippers run. I remember him and Lou Williams.
He was a rookie when they traded him for Paul George.
Yeah, but I remember he was on that run where they made this they faced the Golden State Warriors in the first round, and he was on that crazy run where they came back from like 30-40, and it just went crazy. Like, but
so Paul George has been on the Clippers since 2018.
I don't know if since 2018, man, but for sure for a minute, man. Like Paul George, Clippers keep, man, so much talent on the Clippers, but I feel like a lot of it's I don't want to say washed up, man, because so many players over there. I love to watch them growing up and everything like that, but they're not as good as they once were.
He's 25.
Shea
is 25
going
years
on
old.
26, right? Yeah, I know he's a little bit older, but yeah, man, just the Clippers, man. Like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, I mean, there's reports that they're going to trade Paul George. They're going to look into trading Paul George. And who was the team that is going to make a big push for him? I think it was the 76ers. The 76ers are going to try to make a big push for Paul George and give him a max contract. And, pair him up with Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I think that would be a good little trio right there.
Yeah, man.
But,
They just got to get rid of Tobias Harris, man.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. Come on now. Like, I mean, Jimmy said it first. Jimmy knew. Everybody knew, I feel. I don't know what the 76ers are doing, to be honest. But
I think they've just been riddled with injuries, man. I mean, you always see Joel go down. Or like some injury always happens. It's just unlucky. The 76ers are very unlucky. They've had good teams in the past. I mean, obviously, you've had Jimmy Butler there. You've had James Harden there. All paired up with Joel Embiid. But just injuries happen, And I don't think it's time to blow it up for the 76ers. But I think, like making a move for either Paul George or Jimmy Butler. Well, I don't know if Jimmy Butler would want to go to 76ers again. But
Jimmy Butler ain't never going.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But I think making a push for Paul George would be big. It would be huge, and keeping Joel happy and stuff. But I mean,
yeah, man, a lot of rumors right now, man, circulating the off season. I know that it just recently came out today, actually, right before the recording, that the Pelicans, man, are not going to give Brandon Ingram that contract, that max contract. Yeah. And it had already been speculated throughout the season that Brandon Ingram was probably moving away, but I wonder where he ends up, man.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know where he could end up,
Honestly, I don't either, man. Like, I don't know who might need a Brandon Ingram, but I know that whoever gets him, man, it's a good
off the top of my head. I don't know why. Like, it's just like intuition. When he told me this rumor earlier, but I think like the first team that came to mind was the Knicks. Send him to definitely. The Knicks with Jalen Brunson. I mean, they had a pretty good run.
Yeah, man.
If you had another scorer like Brandon Ingram, I don't know, man. Like,
I feel like the Knicks are on the up and coming, man. The only thing is, man, like, one of the players that I feel was always overrated was definitely Julius Randle. Julius Randle was so overrated for his entire career. Like, I never saw it. Like, I never saw it in him. I mean, think back when he played with Kobe, I know he was young and everything like that. But even when he was on the Knicks, I mean, he had a good little run, and he was I think the most improved player or something like that.
Yeah, that run when the Knicks made the playoffs, and I think they lost to the Atlanta Hawks that year.
In the Eastern Conference Finals.
No. Well,
they both made it. They both made it that far. Or no. It was in the.
No, it was in the second round, I believe.
Yeah, because Atlanta was not supposed to win that. But honestly, man, I mean, every time I watch Julius Randle, it's just like I don't see it for some reason. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a hardcore Knicks fan. I'm not watching every Knicks game. I mean, maybe Julius Randle comes up in big moments, and maybe he got like a special place in y'all's heart. But like since he won that most improved player, even watching him that season win that award, I mean, he was okay. But I saw him in the playoffs, and I feel like I was watching. I was being like, it was some joke. Like, I was like, bro, like, this is like, I thought he was. I expected more. From Julius Randle, man. And I mean, I didn't even really hear his name this playoffs. I know he was injured for a little bit. I'm not sure if he was injured for the entire time, man, but I never really heard his name throughout the season. I haven't really heard his name since the season where he won the most improved player, man. I just don't really see it in Julius Randle. I think he's overpaid. I think he's overpriced right now. And honestly, I think the Knicks need to kind of get rid of him.
Yeah, it's definitely Jalen Brunson's team now. Him and Josh Hart, they're the two like core.
The little Villanova team right there.
Yeah, that's a little Villanova team, And I think adding Brandon Ingram to that team would be huge. And I haven't heard no rumors. That's purely speculation. Like, off my part. You know. I don't know. Like, I could be completely off, but I mean, that'd be pretty fun. It'd be pretty fun sending Brandon Ingram to a big market, especially the hype that Brandon Ingram had coming out of college. You know, he was supposed to be the next KD.
Was he in Duke or Kentucky?
He was in Kentucky, I believe. I believe he came out of Kentucky. He was supposed to be the next Kevin Durant, and we've seen flashes. We've seen flashes of Brandon Ingram having that high scoring upside. But injuries and being sent to the Pelicans and being kind of outshined by Zion Williamson when he is playing, because obviously Zion has been injured and riddled with injuries. But we all remember that little trio that they had with Zion, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram. And that was pretty fun. But since then, we haven't really heard much of Brandon Ingram. I think he was like a 25 points per game scorer this year, something like that.
I mean, Brandon Ingram's still kind of doing pretty good. Like, he's putting up numbers. He will do his job. But yeah, I feel like the Pelicans were kind of a letdown this season as well, man. But I'm not sure if it was because of injuries and stuff like that. They started the season
off with the first seed. Like they started off real hot, real hot.
Fell out. Were they even in the play-in? I think they may have played in the play-in.
Actually, I think they lost to the Lakers in the.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they started off the season real hot. But then, Zion gets hurt a lot.
Zion gets hurt. CJ, I think was this the year that he punctured like his lung or something like that? I know he had a lung problem. Mm-hmm. Brandon Ingram, Jose Alvarado, so many players, man. So many players for y'all. Just injury riddled, like just unlucky season for y'all, man. But I kind of expected. I expect the Pelicans to get back up to the play-in soon enough. There's just so many teams in the West, man. So many teams in the West coming out.
And we can't forget the Grizzlies once Ja Morant comes back.
Ja Morant comes back, a top seed pick.
Yeah, because he's always going to be a problem. You know, he has his problem. Like, that doesn't even matter. But like him as a player, like he's amazing. You know,
yeah, man. I mean, Ja Morant, man. Like his talent is good. And then Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson, man, there's so much talent on that.
The Spurs are up and coming too. You can't count them out.
Yeah, honestly though, I'm not counting out the Spurs. I just don't think that they're for the next 3 years. I don't think they're making the playoffs
it's just
whatsoever.
Very stacked. That conference is just so stacked.
Yeah, man, because I feel like the next up, it's still gonna be Denver. It's still gonna be the Dallas Mavericks. Next up is OKC. You got
Timberwolves.
Clippers are. I feel like they're gonna get always at least a top 8 seed.
Yeah.
You got the Timberwolves up and coming. You got so many teams over there, man.
So
you never know who's gonna go to the finals. It's always just up in there. Who wants them or who performs when the time is right. I mean, the West is just.
Yeah, we're seeing it how. In the early 2010s, the West was just so stacked when they had Kobe, they had Tim Duncan, it was just
Dirk,
so many stacked players in the West, and then you had the East, LeBron just running the East.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, the Miami Heat. All those the top, and we're seeing that now with the Boston Celtics, and and then in the West we have all of these young and
crazy talented in the West, man. I don't know what the heck. I don't know why it's been like this for so long.
It is always the West.
What's he's doing over there, bro? But yeah, man. So many things going on right now in the NBA. I know. I've heard trade rumors going into the draft. I know the draft is coming up in a little less than a month. I think it's 3 weeks now. But one of the big rumors right now is the Rockets, man. I mean, I know they paid Fred VanVleet a bunch of money, really Rockets fans were kind of expecting to at least be in contention for the play-in or make the playoffs at most.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to the Rockets, right?
Man, the Rockets were a letdown, man. I know they tried at the end of the season. I mean, Jalen Green was carrying that team.
They made a run towards the end of the season. I think they won 13 in a row.
Yeah, man, they did pretty good at the end of the season. But
there was a real scare for the Golden State Warriors fans to knock them out of the play-in.
You put that into consideration, and I mean. For the Rockets to need a run to just be in playoff the play-in contention, it's kind of a letdown for the season. I feel.
I don't know. I think that's a bright spot. You saw that same type of run with the Phoenix Suns before. They made it to the NBA Finals.
Definitely.
Yeah, you saw them with the Bubble Suns. I don't know if you guys remember Bubble Suns.
Yeah, with Devin Booker and everything like that. But I feel like the Rockets just are. are kind of far, man. Like they're pretty far from a talented roster and everything like that. I mean, they have talent on it. I just feel like I think it's a Men Thompson on that team. I know they got Fred VanVleet. I know they got Dylan Brooks. They got Jalen Green. They got Sengun. I know Sengun got injured, man. Great prospect. I just don't like the Rockets being as Bears fans. But one of the biggest rumors right now is that they trade the number 3 pick to the Brooklyn Nets for Mikal Bridges. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think that's a great fit. I feel like Mikal is just that Swiss Army that he could fit anywhere, man.
He's real gritty too.
He is. He's real gritty. He's real gritty. The 3rd overall pick going to the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know who the heck they would draft, but I know that I think the Rockets would be a good fit for Mikal. Like, I think he would put them over at least a 8th seed, man, not a 7th seed. Definitely. But I just feel like with so much talent coming out in the West, the Rockets are kind of not at the top.
I think you just need man. To compete in the West. You need like a top.
You need a top 8 player.
You really
with
need
Anthony Edwards, Jokic. Yeah. I mean Shea right now. Like, you need an MVP caliber player, and or to draft a generational player as in Victor Wembanyama, man. Yeah. Like, it's just hard in the West, and
I mean, you see it with the Clippers. You see it with the Clippers. Obviously, they traded for Kawhi, they traded for Paul George, and they were going all in. But they're yet to make a Western Conference Finals. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they have not made a Western Conference Finals with that pairing, and that just goes to show how tough it is, bro. Like, it's real tough to make it out of the West, you know. Yeah, man. It's honestly, it's a coin toss for whoever makes it every year for the finals, man. It's just a dogfight over there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, do you have anything else to go over on basketball? Towards the NBA, I don't really know. I'm really excited for the NBA finals.
We'll tune in to see the NBA finals.
If you guys want to see like maybe potentially like a live stream, or we could do like post game like reviews, like post game like our thoughts on game 1, game 2, what we would love to do that. I mean,
of course.
We would love to do that. Just let us know, and we'll do all that. We'll cover the NBA finals as it's going on. We're hoping for a good series. Hopefully a game 7.
Yeah, hopefully a game 7, man. But either way, like, it's a dogfight. It's game 6s and game 7s. I just hope we get to see those, man. I hope it's just not a blowout. No, I don't think it gets to game 7 either. Game 7s are hard to come by, but if it does, I mean, by all means, man, I'm happy to see it. But we got some big news coming in the NFL, man.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Earlier today, Justin Jefferson got signed for one of the biggest contracts the NFL has ever seen.
It was a $140 million contract, $110 million guaranteed. That is insane. And it is the most expensive contract by a non-quarterback.
Yeah, man. What do you think this does for the wide receiver market?
It completely blows it up. It opens it. And I think we're going to see dudes like... Well, CeeDee Lamb is next up to get a contract. Whether or not he gets paid just as much or more or less, I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But it is going to play a big part, especially because right now he's holding out. And Jerry Jones typically does not pay his players accordingly. But, I mean, I think CeeDee Lamb is going to get paid next.
Dallas already said that CeeDee's the top of the priority at the moment, that he's going to be the next to get paid in the players.
But as for Justin Jefferson, this is huge for him, man. I think he deserves it because I think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL by far none. I mean, there might be a debate for like Tyreek, but I think age-wise, and just the versatility that Justin Jefferson has, he is the best receiver in the NFL.
Oh, for sure. What do you think this does for the Vikings, man? With them trading Kirk Cousins in the offseason, TJ Hawkinson tearing his ACL late season last year. How do you think this plays in the upcoming season, and what do you think this does for the Vikings?
Well, I mean, I think without trading Kirk Cousins, this deal wouldn't be able to get done. I think just having JJ McCarthy in a rookie contract allows them to build that roster more And, you know, obviously keeping Justin Jefferson is huge. Now, what's it called? With JJ McCarthy, there's a lot of questions with JJ. I personally wasn't the biggest JJ McCarthy fan coming out of college, but I mean, you always see this. Like, I mean, Tom Brady is the perfect example of, like, he didn't get the time to shine in Michigan because just of the stacked roster that there was. I would like to get my how does it say, like, to subvert my expectations with JJ. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't want to say he's like a Zach Wilson, because I think he's a little bit more talented than that. But I don't know, man. He's in the best position that any rookie quarterback is in, other than like Caleb Williams, because that team is absolutely stacked. But like, obviously, when you go into a situation with the best wide receiver in the NFL, and I would say a top 5 tight end, you know, and then you still have Jordan Addison. You still have Alexander Madison. I think he's still on the roster, right?
But yeah, I mean, but still having Alexander Madison is not a good thing.
I mean, I like Alexander Madison, you know,
as a backup.
I mean, he is a top backup, but I think I like Alexander Madison. But I think JJ is in a really good position.
Hold on. Didn't Aaron Jones go to the Vikings?
Yes, he is right. Obviously, you have Aaron Jones now. I completely forgot about Aaron Jones. But, yeah, he is correct. Aaron Jones did go to the Minnesota Vikings. JJ is in the perfect position to succeed, especially now that Justin Jefferson is happy. I think they won't make the playoffs. I don't think so.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think so.
I don't even know if they win more than 6 games, man.
Well, I have to look at their schedule. I do plan on doing that, but I think the North is just really good. The North is really, really good. Obviously, you have the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the revamped Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, we'll get into them sometime soon. But right now we're focusing on the Minnesota Vikings. I think JJ is going to take some time to develop. I think didn't they trade for Sam Darnold?
Yeah, man, but still, like, I feel like JJ is gonna take the reins as a starter week 1. I'm not sure if Sam Darnold's exactly gonna be cutting it for a week 1 starter. Like, I mean, we've seen what Sam Darnold brings. We've seen him on different teams.
We've seen him on the Carolina Panthers. They started off. I think they started off the season undefeated.
With 2 wins. It was 2-0. Come on. It's not really undefeated if you get less than like 5 wins. Like, nobody really cares for 2-0.
Whoever's the week 1 starter is, whether it's JJ, whether it's Sam Darnold, they're in a really good position to succeed because they have all the weapons in the world to succeed. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just not sure how the Vikings do this season. I'm honestly not sure if they get more than 7 wins. For sure, they're not making the playoffs in that overstacked conference or division. But, yeah, definitely. I know that it all really depends on how J.J. McCarthy performs, man, how much weight is put on his shoulders. I mean, as a rookie going in week 1, it could be either detrimental or it could be a Justin Herbert situation where the dude's just magnificent, man. I mean, you just throw him in the fire and they perform. But J.J. McCarthy, it's really, I mean, I watched him in college. Most of the clips that I saw were just him taking big hits, man. Like, he needs to go down, man. Like,
JJ?
Yeah, man. A lot of the hits were just like insane, man. He needs to learn how to slide to protect himself as seasons go by. But I mean, really, I think hope he does good.
Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach. I think he is going to put him in a situation to succeed. He's not going to just, if he starts or when he does come in, he's not going to just throw him to the wolves. He knows what he has with JJ, and they obviously drafted him so high because they believe in what JJ has to offer. He doesn't have the strongest arm. You know, he doesn't have the strongest arm, but, you know, when you have a route runner like JJ, like Jay Jettas, you know, he can, you know, take a slant to the house if you really wanted to. I think, you know, that offense that Kevin O'Connell runs, he was able to open it up because he had Kirk Cousins, but he can scheme up some things to really let J.J. McCarthy shine. I'm excited to see what he does. I don't expect them to light up the stat sheets or whatever. At least not for the first couple years. Just give him some time. I think the big problem with NFL fans is they're ready to give up on these quarterbacks way too early. I mean, you saw it with Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. Well, I mean, Zach Wilson is not that good, but I mean, we still don't really know what
I feel like
Trey
Zach
Lance has to
Wilson
offer.
promise.
Yeah, we still don't know what Trey Lance has to offer, but people are calling him a buzz. I mean, you see these late career resurgence like Geno Smith. People thought he was gonna be a career backup, journeyman for the rest of his career, and then what happens? Russell Wilson gets hurt. No, Russell Wilson gets traded. Actually, he beats out Drew Lock for that starting spot, and now he has a contract. You know, he's a long term for the Seahawks.
I don't know if he's long term. I definitely can see the Seahawks, you know, going into the draft next year, a couple of years from now, and drafting another quarterback. Just because, I mean, Geno Smith, he comes off as the type of quarterback to get the job done, but not fully. I don't think he's ever going to win a Super Bowl. I think he will be a contender. He'll make the Seahawks playoff team. He'll put the Seahawks on his back if he needs to, but I don't think he'll put them on his back enough.
I would say Geno Smith would be like within the top 15 to top 20 range in terms of quarterback. Like, there's definitely worse options than him, but you're not gonna win a Super Bowl with him. You might win a couple games with him. You might contend for the playoffs with him, but you won't be. I don't consider him a threat, and I don't see the Seahawks ever being like a true contender with him. Like, no matter how good the roster is around him. I mean, they have pretty good weapons. I mean, they have what's it called? DK, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, all those dudes. He has a pretty good team around him. But I just think give him like 2 more years, draft a quarterback, let him mentor that quarterback, be like a bridge type of guy, and move on after him. But
you had mentioned a lot of letdowns, as in examples being Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. So we're gonna keep it in that draft. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence, coming out of college, was one of the most anticipated quarterbacks in the NFL. He's made the playoffs once. I think he won maybe one playoff game. Yeah. But other than that,
I like Trevor Lawrence.
I like Trevor Lawrence. I hope the Jaguars succeed, but I feel like it's been pretty disappointing.
I wouldn't say it's disappointing. I think I watch a lot of Jags games because I like Travis Etienne. I like that roster that they have. But I like him, and I think a lot of the times it's like, I don't want to say it's the players around him that fail him, but like, I don't necessarily think that like he gets a lot of flack for stuff that he can't control. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
What's it called? I think the potential's still sky high with him. I think you could still build a really good team around him. I mean, he took him to the divisional 2 years ago. Yeah, and he almost beat the Chiefs. He almost beat the Chiefs. They had a pretty sizable lead against the Chiefs that year. I don't want to count out. I'm not going to count out Trevor Lawrence. You know, I'm not going to count him out at all. Like, I think he still has a very bright future.
The only reason I bring this up is because I know that he was coming out of college as a generational pick coming out of Clemson.
What?
Do you think he's lived up to those expectations of generational?
I think you have to take into consideration where the Jags were before Trevor Lawrence and where they are now. Like,
so I feel like they're still in they're playoff contenders, definitely, but I feel like they're still sometimes, you know, like they're not. If the NFL had a plan, I feel like they would be playing contenders.
I mean, that's fair.
The only thing is that so Trevor Lawrence, man, like I kind of hope for him to do good and everything like that. I mean, with Doug Peterson and as the coach, and I know Calvin Ridley was just traded or signed with another team. I kind of hope they do good. Yeah. I know Zay Jones just got in some legal trouble, so that'll be. We'll see what happens throughout the season.
They brought in Gabe Davis. They drafted Brian Thompson. I really like Brian Thompson. I was going to bring him up a little bit later. I really like Brian Thompson. If it wasn't for who was it? It was what's his name, bro? I'm gonna look like a casual, but he just got drafted. Malik Neighbors. If it wasn't for Malik Neighbors, he would be one of the top receivers in this draft. And he still
Harrison
was a top receiver in this draft. I really like Brian Thomas going to the Jaguars. He spaces the field for Trevor Lawrence. I think they're building a pretty good core for him. They don't have Calvin Ridley anymore, but he's a pretty good replacement. I would say you're happy with that.
So really quick, let me ask you a question. Trevor Lawrence, where is he at in quarterback rankings? Top what?
I would say he's top 15. Top 15.
Interesting, because you just put Geno Smith at 20.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Geno Smith is 5 spots away from Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence coming out of college is generational.
I think if I had to put Trevor Lawrence at an exact number, I would say he's like around.
I would say 11.
I was gonna say 11 or 12. I think 12 would be pretty good, which is not bad at all because there's so many good quarterbacks nowadays. So being 12 is not the worst.
You know what? Let's do something real quick. Top 10 quarterbacks. Top 10 quarterbacks. They're top 15 quarterbacks.
Okay, I think top 15 is a little much, but
top 10.
Let's do top 10. I think obviously Patty Mahomes is number one.
Okay, if you don't shoot him out.
Yeah, if you don't have Patty Mahomes, you're just being delusional. You're being a delusional fanboy.
Right. So number one, Patty Mahomes. Number two.
I would say. Oh man, dude, this is tough.
You don't have to name them in order. Just the top 10 quarterbacks.
Oh, okay, top 10 quarterbacks. Okay, so obviously Patty Mahomes. You're gonna have Joe Burrow up there. You're gonna have Josh Allen. You're going to have Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. Lamar, CJ Stroud. You're going to have... I would put Dak up there.
For sure. Top 10, of course.
Yeah, he is top 10. Well, I think he's border top 10. I would say he's like
7.
8, 9, 10-ish.
So, I mean, 7, I feel like it's comfortable. Top 10.
Yeah, okay. So, I would put Dak up there. I would put... I guess you kind of have to put Jalen Hurts up there, even though I didn't like the way he finished off the season.
I feel like he's had better seasons, but I feel like he's still top 10.
I would still put up Aaron Rodgers there. People forget about Aaron.
I wonder how he comes off with the torn Achilles. I know he's been hobbling.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, who am I missing? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I think you have 8 or 9 right now.
Okay, so let's think. I wouldn't put Jordan Love quite there yet.
So right now you have Patty Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow,
Lamar, Josh.
I named those. I said those names.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm locked in.
So we got Patty Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott.
Okay.
And then we got Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and I think you need 2 more.
It's 'cause I think most of the top quarterbacks are in the East, bro, or in the AFC, you know. But I think I gotta show love to the NFC as well. I would say Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is up there.
I wonder how he comes off the torn Achilles. Okay.
Kirk Cousins. But his game is a lot. Well, I mean, I think his game doesn't. He's not very mobile, so I mean, I think he'll be okay.
The only thing is that he tore the Achilles on his throwing leg, so a lot of the power comes from there.
His like, you know, when your pivot foot.
Okay, you have one more spot because you put Kirk Cousins in there. Who's number 10?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna get so much hate because I feel like I'm missing somebody. Okay. So I wouldn't put Jared Goff up there. I mean, I think he's a very good quarterback, but
system quarterback, but definitely gets the job done.
I don't know about system quarterback, but I think he's a very good quarterback. Put him in any team, and I think you'll have, you know, a pretty good chance.
Other than the Rams.
I mean, you took him to the Super Bowl. I don't know. You took him to the Super Bowl. I don't know. Like,
all right. So you're still missing. Let's see. Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence. You're missing.
I think I really like Anthony Richardson's play, but he's unproven. I mean, in the 4 games that he played before he got injured, I really liked the way he played. I mean, he is the black Josh Allen. I'm just gonna say, like, he's Josh Allen, bro. Like, he has a cannon of an arm. He's uber athletic. I would say he's more athletic than Josh Allen. He's very huge, bro. I'm a big fan of Anthony Richardson. I hope the injuries that he sustained on his shoulder aren't, you know, like career altering. I want him to be good, but I wouldn't put him top 10 yet.
Okay, so we still got Deshaun Watson as well. Baker Mayfield.
Deshaun Watson, I don't know. What I'm considering is like Trevor Lawrence. I think he is like contention to be top 10. Jordan Love is in consideration as well.
Caleb Williams.
No, he's a rookie, bro.
You wouldn't.
He's a rookie, bro.
But top 15 right now.
He's a rookie, bro.
Yeah, but he's still a starting quarterback at the moment.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but I mean, he is a starting quarterback. But it's too early to put him in a rank, especially.
I get you.
Especially when he's going against like these veterans, like all of these dudes, other than like Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, which is he's going into his second year, but like bro, he's just amazing, like generational type of dude. But okay. I don't think it'd be fair to put Caleb there. I think so. Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, dude. What am I forgetting, bro? I think Deshaun Watson has to be in consideration. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. Who do you? Okay, but just so I can clear out the top 10, I'll put Trevor Lawrence up there.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'll put Trevor Lawrence. Okay. If I'm missing anybody, please don't come at me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, but off the dome, I feel like you're always forgetting somebody. But I would probably have honestly, let me do it in order, man. Let me Patrick Mahomes, number one.
Obviously.
I'm going Lamar Jackson, number two.
Okay, that's debatable, but yeah, I'll take that.
I'm taking Josh Allen, number 3.
I would put Joe Burrow above him, but yeah.
Joe Burrow's injured too much. I feel like he falls to 5 for me. But I would put Brock Purdy, bro.
No.
Brock Purdy's not top 10?
I think, well, you know what? There's considered. I actually did think about Brock Purdy, but
Brock Purdy's making my top 10. So at 4, I think I would have to put Dak Prescott.
Let me take that back before I get hated. It's my 49ers hate bias. I do think Brock Purdy's a very good quarterback. Obviously, he is. He took him to a Super Bowl. You cannot be a bad NFL starting quarterback and go to the Super Bowl. I just have this hate. Yeah, man. Coming from a Cowboys fan, I mean, we have to hate the 49ers, man. Like, they always knock us out of the NFL playoffs, and, Brock Purdy has been done that like twice already. Yeah, man. So
like 3 years consecutive, man. Like it's getting tiring. Like,
yeah, I don't like the agenda that the Tom Brady agenda that they have on Brock Purdy. So.
Yeah, but so my top 5 right now is Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, then Dak Prescott. Then I would put Joe Burrow, then Justin Herbert at 6. Then I would probably put who am I missing, man? CJ Stroud at 7. Honestly, he could easily jump into the top 5, but I think with the second season in his back, he'll make a top 5.
Dude, that roster that they built around him, that core that they have around him, they're bringing Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, like that roster is gonna be pretty good.
But yeah, 8, I would put. Who would I put 8, man?
It's hard, right?
No, yeah, it is definitely hard. But I feel like Aaron Rodgers is still a perennial quarterback, so I put him at 8. Yeah. I think I'll put Brock Purdy at 9. Actually,
okay.
Brock Purdy at 9.
I don't hate that.
And I'm gonna have to go with. I don't know how to rank Kirk Cousins right now, man, because of the injury, and it's so such a valuable injury. I don't know if he's still a top 10 quarterback, but I would definitely put Trevor Lawrence or I don't really like Deshaun Watson. I think I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence in my top 10.
Who?
Trevor Lawrence at 10.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that list. With Deshaun Watson, I mean, you saw him on the Houston Texans, and he was. He looked like he was going to be...
Different player, to be honest. Different player.
The way different player. I mean, when he was on Houston, it looked like he was going to be Patty Mahomes' rival for years to come. Obviously, it didn't pan out like that. Allegations started coming out. He took like 2 years off from the game. Come back, not the same player. That's not to say he cannot be the same player that he was in Houston, but we're yet to see that. I wouldn't rank him in my top 10.
And then, let me push it one more further, man. Top 15, the last 5, I would put in Kirk Cousins, I would put in Deshaun Watson. I would put in Baker Mayfield.
Matthew Stafford, yo.
Matthew Stafford, honestly, I think he falls in my top 15.
I think I'll put Matthew Stafford in my top 15 as well.
I think he's borderline top 10, maybe pushing Trevor Lawrence out to the top 15, but I feel like Matthew Stafford is definitely top 15.
Yeah.
And then one more, I'm going to have to put in. Should I do it?
Do it. Come on, bro. Let's do it.
Man. It's hard, man. This one's a little bit harder.
It's hard, ain't it?
As a top 15, man, this is like a mid quarterback. I mean, this is mid of the pack. Like you're getting into like, all right, like this is like. But I definitely put screw it, Caleb Williams.
Oh my god! Well, you know what? Okay, so I don't necessarily hate that. I don't hate it because of how talented he is, but
with the stuff around him, with the talent around him. I mean, with the way he's talented, that he's coming out with the same hype level that Trevor Lawrence did.
I would say a little
and a way better situation.
I would say just a little bit more because of, like you said, the situation around him. I think if he doesn't fail, especially because Caleb Williams gets so much hate because of what he does outside of the field. He gets so much hate. So if he doesn't produce anything other than like a top 15 type of play of quarterback, like he's gonna get like burned down. So he has more like expectations to succeed. But I mean, I really like Caleb Williams. I like him coming out of USC. I saw his first game when he came in against when he was in Oklahoma. He played against the Longhorns, and I knew that guy was gonna be special, bro, because he just torched them up as a freshman. He was a freshman, you know. And I really like him. I want him to succeed, but I think it's too early to put him in any top 15 sort of list.
I mean, it's mid of the pack, man. Like, you have Geno Smith, like he's over Geno Smith, he's over Anthony Richardson at the moment, he's over Drake May, like he's over other rookies and other like not terrible quarterbacks, but I'm putting him above like some of the mid of the pack to the late 30s, as in like Bryce Young and everything like that, man. So I mean, I feel like he easily falls into the top. For sure, 20, like 100%, but top 15, I'm putting him in there just because I think the situation helps him a lot, man. I feel like they put him in a situation to succeed. I feel like he's gonna succeed. I feel like he's gonna easily be top 15. To be honest,
I'm not mad at what you're saying there. Like I think what you're saying is fair. I don't know, but like I said, he's a rookie. We gotta see him.
Bruh, I forgot about Jared Goff. Oh my god, bruh.
We just talked about Jared Goff.
Bruh, Jared Goff. Never mind, Jared Goff. Jared Goff in the top 15, man. I forgot about Jared Goff, bro. Jared Goff is one of my favorite quarterbacks.
I like Jared Goff.
I forgot about Jordan Love, bro.
Oh my god. Just talking about these quarterbacks, bro.
My fault, bruh. Nah. Hold on, bruh. Okay, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, instantly top 15. Mm-hmm. And then I'd put in Kirk Cousins. Oh man, I'm not putting Baker Mayfield in there. I'm putting Matthew Stafford and Caleb Williams.
I wouldn't be mad at putting Baker top 15 because of the resurgence.
I think he's like 16, 17, man.
Yeah, he definitely had a resurgence in Tampa. Nobody expected Tampa to even make it close to the playoffs, but yet they did. I think he's not the long-term option there, but he definitely, gives them some spark. My top 15, because I don't think I got to it, I would definitely put Brock Purdy up there. He's top 10, but my bias doesn't let me do it. So I would put Brock Purdy there. Jordan Love. Did I put Jordan Love in my top 10? I don't remember.
Nah, he was like right at the border, and you put Trevor Lawrence.
Jordan at 11, Brock Purdy at 12. Then I will put Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, and top it off with AR. I like AR.
AR? I like AR. I feel like he just hasn't played a lot, but he was definitely putting up some numbers when he actually played. But
while we're on the topic of AR, if there was a breakout player of the year candidate, like award in the NFL, I would definitely give it to AR, Anthony Richardson. I do think maybe he could potentially win comeback player of the year. I really, really, really like his game. There's a lot of NFL GMs around the league say he's next up. Like, he is next up. I mean, I think he just has it all: the profile, the size, the arm strength, the speed, the athleticism. He's he's him, bro. I think AR is him.
If there was a
Breakout player,
a breakout player of the year, I'm putting Garrett Wilson in there.
Oh, I like that.
Garrett Wilson, man, he should have gotten that last year, man. But I mean, unfortunately, with Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like he's gonna get it this year, man.
Yeah,
like this is his year.
I was huge on Garrett Wilson.
I was too.
I did not shut up about Garrett Wilson heading into our fantasy draft. I was like, bro, I want him. Like, you know, I thought him and Rodgers were gonna make magic. They were gonna be the next Devontae and Rodgers. Obviously Rodgers got hurt third play into the game.
I drafted him, by the way.
Yeah,
I drafted him, and it was my second round pick, man. And
who didn't draft Garrett Wilson? I mean, I think everybody thought like he was gonna be like, he has a lot of comparisons. He has a lot of the same attributes as Devontae Adams. I think he has like that same type of ceiling. And hopefully Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, and I do like that he could win breakout player of the year if there was one.
You know who just came to mind?
Who?
Tua. You think Tua is top 15?
Oh, dude, I completely forgot about Tua. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I think I would put him over Geno Smith. I would put him.
You put Geno Smith top 20.
I think I put him in my top 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then okay,
I forgot about Tua. I think Tua is top 15.
I think he falls in the same category as Baker Mayfield.
You know what?
So 16, 17.
I think you know, it's because of his frame. You know,
it's kind of crazy that we went from tank for Tua to the way he is now. But I think it also was because of the hip injury that he suffered back in college.
And Joe Burrow just came out of nowhere, bro. Joe Burrow that year.
Oh yeah,
like, Joe Burrow was supposed to go like in the 4th round. I don't know if you guys remember, but before Joe Burrow became Joe Burrow, like he would transfer from school to school, and he was never really given a shot. Then senior year, LSU put up, like, he broke numerous records, bro. So he went from tank for Tua to tank for Burrow, you know, like, and it was just insane. And the rest is history. Now Joe Burrow is like the legacy of Joe Burrow is just growing, you know.
But yeah, man. I mean, going back to the Vikings and the Justin Jefferson signing, what do you think that does for fantasy, man? Do you think Justin Jefferson is still a first round pick with JJ McCarthy at quarterback?
Bro, definitely. I think him with JJ, like, it doesn't change a thing. You always gotta look, in terms of fantasy, you always gotta look at talent profile. Wide receivers, they always tend to get their numbers regardless of who's at quarterback. We saw it with Devontae this past year.
We saw it with JJ this past year. I mean, he had a backup because Kirk was out.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I forgot the backup's name, but I mean, he was still putting up pretty good numbers. But do you think he's still do we have to like limit our expectations with JJ McCarthy? Because he was averaging 25.
Obviously, you're not going to see the same type of numbers that he had with Kirk, because Kirk just was Kirk Cousins. He's not going to produce those 2,000-yard seasons. But I definitely do think he's still, like, you know, easily first round fantasy wise. I would probably draft CeeDee Lamb over him. Maybe even Jamar Chase.
Whoa, Jamar, really?
Yeah, I would.
I feel like the only ones I would draft over JJ are Tyreek and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely fair. But like, as we were saying, like, you gotta limit your expectations because of JJ. I mean, I don't know. Justin Jefferson, amazing talent. I mean, probably the most talented wide receiver we've seen since like Antonio Brown. But I don't know. I would still draft him. Obviously, don't be afraid to draft Justin Jefferson just because of his quarterback play, because he's still going to put up amazing numbers.
If you had the first overall selection, or no, because obviously Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek, and CeeDee Lamb, put them out of the way, would you take him 4th overall, JJ?
Who, JJ?
Yeah.
Okay, so the landscape of the fantasy football is weird this year, because obviously you have Christian McCaffrey, the RB1, right? But after Christian McCaffrey, it's a lot of unknown.
I feel like it has to go.
In terms of running back.
The way I would put it, man, is CMC, Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, top 3.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. I think I would definitely like.
Oh, and maybe even Amon Ra, top 6, top 5, somewhere there.
I think I wouldn't be afraid to draft Amon Ra with my like top 10 pick, but I think I would still put.
I would take honestly. Maybe I'm wrong on this, man, but maybe a hot take, but I think JJ still finishes top 2, top 3 because I feel the rookie quarterback's gonna purposely want him to get the ball. I feel like they're gonna be so much garbage time minutes and points and stuff like that they're gonna constantly be throwing to Justin Jefferson at the end of the games.
Well, garbage time is I don't know about that, right? But
bro, it's because do you really think that they're gonna I feel like they're gonna have a lot of losses, so they're gonna be trying to come in and win games.
Well, like I said, I still gotta look over the schedule. I don't think they're gonna be horrible. I think
mid of the pack.
Just looking at the Vikings roster, I would give them like 6-7 wins, which is not horrible either, especially with a rookie quarterback. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes if he sits out the whole season and they just let Sam Darnold play. I think you do have a higher ceiling if Sam Darnold does play. I mean, we all have our opinions about Sam Darnold, but at the end of the day, he's a veteran. He's a veteran NFL quarterback, and he's probably going to help you produce. Or he's probably going to let Justin Jefferson produce a little bit more, at least in the short term. Maybe in the long term, JJ does develop into a good quarterback. And but for now, I wouldn't shy away from Justin Jefferson. Not even close. The one that you should kind of be afraid of is Jordan Addison. I think
his numbers are going to go down. I wouldn't say like heavy, but I'm taking him maybe in the 7th round.
Yeah, I think Jordan Addison, you should see him as like a flex,
depending on your league, obviously, right?
Yeah, you should see him like as a flex play, not like a start. I wouldn't see him as a wide receiver 2 or anything. I would. I mean, he's still a high upside.
I feel like he reminds me of Tyler Lockett in his hit or miss seasons. I know in the past 2 seasons he's been pretty consistent, but man, he used to put up 2 50-point games and get into the top 10, man. Yeah. Like he most of the time he was putting up like 3-4 points, and I feel like that's what Jordan Addison's gonna do. Maybe 6 or 7 points for most of the season, and it's just gonna be someone that you don't want on your roster. You're never really gonna start, because you're afraid that he's going to put up 6 or 7 points, and you're never really going to know when to predict his boom games. So it's just going to be right in your bench for the entire season. Nobody's really going to want trade value because they look at his numbers. And I feel like Jordan Addison's just a person that I'm going to shy away from this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I definitely prefer other players over Jordan Addison, but if the price is right, like if I obviously like with any player, if the price is right, I would draft him. He's not my first option. We still gotta do some mock drafts. I haven't gotten into the mock drafts yet. I mean, I think
we're actually might do a mock draft right after we end it, just to see where everyone's fallen, just to see some sleepers and some the best talents for each round, the best of fits, and some overpriced players. But yeah, we'll do that right after we end it. I know we're already at 1 hour and 12, but he wanted to do a segment, man. Yeah,
we're gonna do a segment. This I'm gonna call this the this or that segment. Not very creative, but basically I'm gonna give him 2 players, and he's gonna pick who he would rather have in the long term. Right, he doesn't know the players. We're gonna get into it, but this is gonna be for the TikTok.
So really quick, man. In the long term, as in like
5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. All right, sounds good. Let me do it.
So, welcome to this or that. Anyways,
you could do the intro.
Yeah. Welcome to this or that. The series where I give him 2 options, and he's gonna choose who he'd rather have in the long term. So first player. Micah Parsons or TJ Watt?
TJ Watt.
Over Micah?
Yeah.
Okay, no explanation.
Just keep going.
CeeDee Lamb or Jamar Chase?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, pretty easy. Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Oh my God. Man, I'm going Bijan.
Okay, yeah, I would have taken. Okay, so now this is very interesting because I have Trevor Lawrence or Anthony Richardson.
Give me Anthony Richardson.
Damn. Okay.
So hold on, man. Was this like in the current situation? Because I know Bijan and Jameer, man. Like Bijan obviously has Kirk Cousins now, and I feel like he might pop off a little bit more. But I mean, that's the only thing that's putting Bijan over Jameer, man.
Yeah.
The fact that he has Kirk Cousins, the fact that he has a better wouldn't say better coach or better team over there, right? But I think he's just in a little bit better situation. But as a player also, I think Bijan is also a little bit more shifty.
Yeah.
But man, they go hand in hand, man. Jameer Gibbs and Bijan, man, that's a hard one.
I think I like Bijan a little bit more because he's more versatile with his things. I mean, I know we talked about Jameer. So? We talked about Jameer a little bit in the last episode, but I like Bijan's game because I think he's more of like I don't know. He has that. Like I saw him a lot in UT, and he's very like
he's explosive.
Like
his
explosive, athletic. He's very shifty.
When he finds the hole, he's quick.
I know for a fact you guys saw that juke against
Jaguars. It was against the Jaguars.
Was it the Jaguars?
Yeah, man, I saw it.
Yeah,
I sent that clip in the group chat, man, and I was watching it on Disney, man. So I sent it in the little characters.
Yeah, everybody saw that clip. We all know Bijan Robinson is. He is, a freak of nature. I would personally take Bijan over Jameer Gibbs.
That's crazy because, I mean, you were just talking about Jameer Gibbs. Might be the next CMC. So what does that put Bijan?
Look.
Walter Payton?
So what I meant about that was the type of numbers that Jameer Gibbs could provide in fantasy, like, could be, like, the same type of numbers that Christian McCaffrey produces. But I think Bijan plays more like Christian. If anything, I would say Gibbs plays more like Alvin Kamara.
So in your rankings for fantasy, just fantasy related, if you had to choose between taking a first round on Bijan or taking a second round on Jameer, who do you think is the better value there?
Okay, so right, if I could take CD with like the third pick or second pick, and I could take Jameer in the second round, bro, I'm taking that every day.
Low key, I feel like Jameer and Bijan, the production levels are going to be the same, but Bijan's just a little bit higher ranked. So I feel like falling back to Jameer is a great choice.
So I think people are so down on Bijan. Well, they're not down, but like they don't have that expectation of Bijan because of Artie Smith. I think Artie Smith definitely like
stunted his production.
Yeah, he not ruined Bijan, but like he held him back a lot.
For sure.
I mean, he got Cordell Patterson involved. Like, bro, Cordell Patterson is like a 30-year-old wide receiver converted running back. Like, he should not be taking away touches from Bijan, especially in the goal line. Like,
what is it? Tyler Smith,
Algier.
Oh yeah, Tyler Algier.
Talking about Tyler Algier, they would tend to bring in Tyler Algier to get the goal line touches, which I mean I don't hate because I mean you always want to protect. Bijan's on the smaller side. You always want to protect your running backs, but they just took so much production away from Bijan. There would be like drives where it'd be like 2-3 drives where Bijan wouldn't even touch the field. There was one game Bijan didn't even play.
Yeah,
because
bro.
of like disciplinary actions.
Bro, I remember you started.
I was tripping, bro. I was like, what happened to Bijan? And they didn't play him. I don't remember what the reason was. I don't even know if they came out with the reason.
Yeah, bro. But, I just remember people were mad, bro, because they told us all that he was active, and for him to not even like he was suited up and everything, man. Yeah. And he just never went on that field.
Yeah, the NFL took disciplinary action towards that, but
especially because it was towards the end of the season, so those games were important, man, and people were starting, and he dropped a dud. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. So thank God Artie Smith is gone. I think that's gonna be huge for Drake London, Bijan, all those, even Kyle Pitts. I think I think the mistreatment.
I'm drafting Kyle Pitts this season.
Yes, the mistreatment that Kyle Pitts had with Artie Smith is blasphemous. How are you gonna draft the most talented tight end coming out of college with the top 4 pick and not use him? Like, you're not gonna utilize the highest drafted tight end in NFL history. I think that's like really dumb. I wouldn't shy away from Kyle Pitts, especially because in the tight end position. Especially, nowadays, like, I mean, it's pretty important. You have, like, I think Travis Kelce revolutionized, how we see tight ends. Like we have Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, all those dudes. I think Kyle Pitts definitely deserves to be in that conversation to be one of the top tight ends, especially now with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, man. Everyone shied away on Kyle Pitts for the past couple of seasons, I feel like I
never shied away from. I've always
tired
been a Kyle
now,
Pitts
man.
fan.
I feel like people are tired, and they're just like, man, I'm not even gonna try drafting Kyle Pitts. By all means, man, let him fall to me.
This year,
I'm happy to take a flyer on Kyle Pitts, and I would love to draft him. I'm not sure it's my tight end one, but I screw it. I took Sam Laporta last season, took a high flyer. I think I'm taking Kyle Pitts this season in my tight end one. Like, I would not mind that.
So the tight end position is very interesting because, I think if you don't draft them with one of your top picks, you won't. Oh,